For a moment, I'm going to take a reality. And this reality says, Sodom and Gomorrah are enemies, natural enemies of mine, and our Ejército Argentino Armada Argentina, supposed expertises Argentina, and the holding bodies, KIRSCHNERS, officialism, the Peronism associated to them, with about a few victims, and in other evangelics, with them associated the most armed forces Argentina and NACIÓN, with the whole of them business associated. About this day, and for this time, let's have another recall. However, whenever to ever be, whenever I just say, for the supposed because of they will be government, they will have rights to making whatever the sickness telling science for the keeping and sustaining government, nation, patriot, land. Sure. I'm going to tell you one thing to you, sickness, mentí, te llamas perro del infierno, vosito de tu clase, sorry for this. Had the reality for the same what this is, still making same class of the generation to my person and to us all. So this will be, while I just say, recognized as who I am in everything they do and keeps on making to me and saying that they will become already proved, that they will done everything I done, but they will already become and showing that they done now, not before. I will tell her stop making, I will be a witch, I will be a demon, and they will be the police, being the demons Sodom and Gomorrah, but making massive altars, supposed science, over sacrificial of persons, animals, and whatever to be creation of El Chai that he loved, with a phallus, with a vagina, and with an evangelic prostitute to generate in service for them, with the pardon of victims, for they to succeed, which never done one. And using others with the character of, as they would ever handle in powers holding, that I have a lot of victims carrying for the reason as this war of the sick abominations that we never broke and we wouldn't. Not Jewish and not any other, as it sounds normal. And the reality is got to be over. We have been relating for long ago a certain class of eroding, corroding capacity whenever this is, that we shouldn't ever fall. We cannot get used to. We cannot be at the bendable character, at the besmirched, heated, suppressed, or time on at the getting like a normal thing, like tiredness, fatigue, and some alright. The reality of the corruption is, whenever one matter is affected about the corroding agent, starts to hitting and destroying and corrupting what material is. At the time, the corruption increases and corrupts for more and weeks. Once weak, you got to replace. We are not replaceable. And life is not a game, and not a thing you take, put, and make another. It's not the way it works. And the erosion reality is exactly the same at the weather and at the ambience taking whatever they speak over the matter found for erosion suffering, about the rain, the sun, the winds, seas, water, isotopic winds on a chart, on the whatever pollution, whatever elements hitting and dismissing the reality of the already constituted that shall ever remain left. And the ambience takes part of. We are not that, and we shall not. So, a reality for this. Hit around kept on happening everything, kept on doing the same every days, and never stopped. making the invasive altars with witchcraft, permanently saying science and because of being government will have rights. News at the screens started to rolling about Kirchners will ever be doing what they have been doing. And some sessions of the Congress found a very criminal in the face telling that this government will release the dollar that they will ever keep for that to not fly, while it's a lie and our criminals, liars, that generates everyone, with pardon of the few. Because of the supposed hold that dollar, because of the guilt will be of United States of America and of the judge of the buitres funds of New York City, the FMI, and the courts of US that doesn't release us for they could do what they had to do. And the guilt is of the International Court of Justice and America, suppressors who can slave in America. And the guilt is Jewish capitalism, Zionism, and the guilt is God, and especially me. So suddenly freak, sickness, and criminals, abominable, brazen shit, starts to keep on making the same, and doesn't stop and keeps on murdering people, and not trembling the goddamn disgusting hanging sickness they are. Like in the screen shown, that one, because of our being discovered, completely in front of the world, already done, but this goddamn land, who are damn communities in them all. Living of a witch, living of a terror organization, living on the cat shit, and make whatever organization to reduce, destroy, suppress, disappear, murder, rob, and saying, for the patriot! And everything will be okay for them. So this class of sick abominables were all the time supporting and being part of and placed now the poor victims they were threatening, suffering. The same evangelicals with the burden of the real victims. So suddenly in the middle of this all, made an up that the whole I've been doing it would prove, but rehearsal, that's the way we do. We don't do it, we take it off. About to, well, I'm repeating the thing that is right in there, so that proves I've done it. With Cuerpo Médico Forense permanently, and I will be for internation or jail because of the population of the Republic of Argentina, talking about the sick of associating, buscando la moneda por un precio de serían en el reino de los cielos con una porción de mi cuerpo y de mi vida, con una bruja de mierda evangélica y una bruja de mierda Sodom-GOMORRAH, KIRSCHNERS, taking the coin over whatever to say, never mind. Oh, has money is a, sorry, fag? No, I'm not a fag, never will and won't be. Degenerados hijos de perra peronchos y degenerados infelices de cuarta. Kirchners y tus punteros de mierda, que son una mierda como ustedes. Sorry for this. Y evangelistas, iguales, with the pardon of victims. In the middle of, okay, for a coin, anything. What should I say? What should I do? So around this, in the middle of this all, making still invention of cases, the background, Cristina Kirchner se la hizo, with the rest all. While at the front, degeneradazos, with this masa de degenerados y criminales baratos y reducida obra de estiércol, Comunidad Argentina acá, peronista, and whole associated with United Evangelics, we make a petition, everybody signed it, with the whole Ottoman forces, and with militaries, and with Kirchners, and the whole of the governors of Cristina Kirchner, and the whole sympathizers for the patriot, for the will of the Argentinian community and society and nation. He could be in jail or internated right now, medicated permanently. We cannot allow this. And with forgeries and making up in the class of a sickness. I'm sorry for my histrionism at the level of grotesque. I'm sorry again. Belgrave formatia plegire fakat lisosa plebismona retashbach alaftimon retachel bliefosot lebisesma sesha. to sending all as were promulgating that we were working against. Already we solved the completeness. We did the completeness. UNASUR sending ejércitos de los estados UNASUR, which ain't not existing UNASUR. Not allowed for no one and nobody. And then supposed International Court of Justice, International Criminal Court, coalition and liaison office that ain't not existence ever and never existed and not allowed because of a criminals organization that doesn't have condition or character or reality for institutions, while uses anything that means institution of third power to the making abominations and organizations on criminals and degenerates like a business, which is exactly Argentina. In the middle of a reality that turned to keep on making all class of other generations training forces called all over to sending to the nations, to the states, to taking positions, kidnapping members, states, institutions, states, and everyone as ever be found as states justice bodies, liaison office, International Criminal Court, Coalition, United Nations, International Court of Justice, especially Israel, to say, who would all this? Who would be found here? We were working these last days about this all, and these perros degenerados, no ves que le diga, no me vas a venir a decir que le crees, lo creen. With 984,204,604 new forgeries. Blenkaman rebe fechman sikha blebes waterba saban. Slekimbo rebe fachlavi sosive, ansemave, and supposedly I have been the whole night on this stressed on, and I will say about really said, showing myself in front of the world with this, denying like a psychopath to the taking money from them off and robbing to the state while I will do and be all they said and ready to meeting El Buni, which is a very pet God that my nieces and my sister Monica has, saying whenever they says meet, that they will meet me. Sodoma, to rape, spelling demon and witch, saying that they will have a sensitive or censoring, sensitive catch at the reality of the person and being. Ben Rabbi Fechmansia Blagay Rabbi Fochablets become a Ratasim. I have been living hell, and not only I, this last months, and it's one day and another, and no one stops, and our sickest every day, and our abominables every day. And United Evangelics saying that, oh, and I'm going to have its car, I'm going to have its house, whatever to be found if I will ever, as ever I do or not. And I will have its money, oh, I will have its laptop, and I'm going to show I've done everything. And also the phone, oh, the photos, I've done it all. And this way, I've done it all. I'm going to have its bathrooms making rape, murder, and witchcraft, and I'm going to be like God. While perros degenerados indolentes, criminales, psicópatas, evangelistas de Lucifer, armed forces, turning still to saying that this will be my fantasy for her. And I will make her a child. But brujos degenerados abominados. And we're making the arrangement for the, ya se le hicimos, le coge, sobre this, F word, rape. A todos los suyos ahora le toca a él. Que diga lo que quiera. ¿Viste lo que dijo los de cuarta? And I offense police. I'm going to kill which pretends to be a police. And I'm going to send them to hell. So in the middle of this all, KIRCHNERS were supposedly robbing $4,800,000 to Aerolíneas Argentinas for privatizing about making business of criminals like this normally we're doing with everybody. There were a couple of degenerates and brought to Iberia, like have done to the rest, to saying, deliver back to the state. And there are ones that are not state, taking dominion and making not maintenance, but a cheap crap over crafters and saying that they are patriotic. Taking the 62% of the earning and delivering 2 coins to the employees and threatening with they too just be satisfied except the Kirchners. So suddenly, Kirchners sold the Argentinian crown. Supposedly patriotism not commercial. Sovereignty. They sold to them criminals' bodies 666 all over the world. Land of this disgusting goddamn land. For millions, and has still the account that already, for the evidences, is freaked out. For criminals and genociders and Jewish siders, and sent still to rape and murder my people, Jewish families complete, for the patriot, to taking what they got even in the prices. And saying that we've stolen everything they got in Ejército Argentino, Armada Argentina, Gendarmería Nacional, Policía Federal Argentina, CIDE, Metropolitana, Prefectura, Evangelistas Unidos, KIRSCHNERS, sorry this, will ever show in the world they've done what they've done. So, War Council and Anti-Terrorism Council that already dismissed the criminals, psychos, degenerates, obstinated, obsessed, botched, ferals, SODOM-GOMORRAH, Argentina. So, Remboplekim of Rebefechal, Baspachlikim of Rebefechol Blasim, Remboplekim of Rebesoswate, Bismanachek Speed, Labasoshada, Rendachamachal, Bismatlakimave, Splekir, Agrebefot, Eglekim, Marebespot, Leshmats, Makdikamar, Vored Faspatlisti, Helati, and the Schmons Mare. I wrote the designs that we were working with justice parties about modifying cars as well, supposedly. And supposedly the cybercopter, because of Tejas business, sent to possess to F-word and kill everybody and think that they done and they will be in the heaven. And Kirchners, the generadazos, still with the, what did this one wants? The money. Wants to buy a car, wants to buy a new computer, and wants to having a complete set, a mixer, microphones, and some instruments to make music, wants to having, I don't know, new cell phones. What the it was that? Don't you see? People need money. Give to someone that needs it most. What is he going to do with that? I supposedly will be a team, and I supposedly will rob to this the general of the Cuarta, and I supposedly will never do nothing and only just die because of them patriot. I want that nothing to be worthy and nothing to be for values about my person to take. Except them, that would be me. Keeps on commercializing my DNA and my people, like slaves' organs with murder one, zero. And making business on whatever the, oh, put me, it's mine. I'm gonna be like him and we will control the mind control. I'm one of the spirit. With evangelistas de mierda, sorry the word that keeps on saying that I robbed them. And because of love given us, we have rights to having. He doesn't want to give us. We're going to take because of love said it's us. And I want to kill them because of they are demons and they are criminals and dangerous and obstinately sick ever. Except the victims. And I'm really waiting for. So we're destroying my life for the taking the world and sent to the States, which made them disasters, these perros generados, saying that will be murdering and taking positions while nobody noticed, and manipulating and handling with them supporting for the suppressing and destroying whoever to stay at work. City halls for Metropolitana, river police and coasters, Prefectura Naval Argentina at the heads. Gendarmería Nacional, Military Police. Militaries, Strategy and Defense. Armada Argentina, composed of logistics and any actions forwarding, forces and intelligence. And Policía Federal Argentina, FBI, CIA, and the rest of federals and national DRNT institution. An aeroportuarian, and bonaerense, the head of the whole of the counties. And I may tell you, already we reduced them, except the local standard. Government of the world, abomination for never allowed to human class. No humankind with them. Never. Perros degenerados de SODOM-GOMORRAH 666, and trying to bring still them demons. Bon relef fachman se alivi varre fochu plebs sensibiso chef. Rema plekimon relef fachman sachiri e plebs osaveshara. Ingledimon rembachat fachman sachiri e plebs osaveshara. Gilblokimon relef fachu bapleti relef fachu kamazedan. Ingledimon rebasman chaliviso sim. Kalba relef fachman siva plebs osaveshara. Ingledimon relef fachman sedan. Ingledimon relef fachaliviso sedan. Dovrema plekimon relef fachaliviso spadle vistishev. Galkipa radfachman seab lebesonot lechim agresim. In reflachim as fasedan. Blenkira fochabat plekima techma, plekiva refachua blebesos patishev. Gibson making all that needs for controlling the domain and making that let's come into them because we've got to pay us because of his stolen a design that we have done with a car. And the corporations will be no, which never happens, except for KIRSCHNERS. Ben Ribe Fofman Tsekhalikiv Ribe Fofman Tsekhalikia Plasos Krishman Masekhana. I'm bleking Bogar Fechalti Tochman Suas for Bleki Ribe Fofal Visus Matina. And Redachlagi Susana. I suppose they will be accomplices, and I will kill them for this voracious band affair, voracious amount. And a voracious, biased pack of abominables, evangelics, and them all. And they don't stop. And they concede to be making the right, and to having rights for it. Profaning and making terror of the generations and theirs too, looking like ain't the same. Theirs, diablo de generados. Belchabak di gama revefa, harefechal iris fochmanzin, am blekin borafachal visu was leseshe. Instigating permanently, like with advertisement about my people, Jewish permanently. We will be the generates, we will be demons, we will be the whole of the deteriorated, refutable, rejectable, dismissible, degradable, trampable, sickable, and disposable for the sickness. And also strippable for all its belongings and richness and virtue, capacity, well called, and oh, I want to be a kingdom of heaven, I want to run. Royal of God, and they will be the shit they says we are, and pretends, but destroying with that eroding way, corroding way. What they says we wouldn't be but them. And evangelicals exactly same, sick, abominable demons class, and no any other except victims. So in the middle of this reality, I will be the killed class for the whole happens and disasters because of everything scored. Smartly, Jetaya, Jetim, this old perro de Guarda R66, La Troviana, Ejército Argentino, Armada Argentina, KIRSCHNERS, Peronistas, Evangelistas Unidos, UNASUR, and them armed forces and them supposed expertises, La Troviana 666, beast, breed, everyone, smart shit, tricky shit. En pleki morreve fachbatia morreve fechuable de sospatligamad. Skelki morreve parevis fote de sospati morreve sesim. Selua tekal, selua revefile, selua shemat bata, reve sachim obsevo blamimat. Intel rofa halvisusim. Gives on robbing whatever be sent to me and making less money with it. And not only making less money, but proceeding about the projection they do. Destroying me more than destroying everybody, saying that they are and nobody else. World. Wanted taking the Hague and murdering the responsibles and authorities that are working decently, honorably, genuinely, reality as institutions for the health as we were fighting for to keep and preserve. And putting them because of they will say what they would. And everybody will ever have to attach. Installing terror all over, and they will be the terrorist making the terror job. For everybody shall be dead for helping me. And whenever saying any word, go to attack people in the street because of I will offense them. But I will ever have rights for whatever any class of an argument of SODOM-GOMORRAH needs for the protection. They need to rape and murder and think that is going to save them to the people of which he is recognized over high. But we don't refuse the Labon and we don't give in for this. And the reality is they cut to die on us. And High is going to be always who he is. Shalom. Now, Republic Imoveres Pati, Rebeth Pachal Visus Matachmatim. And as well every one of us. Ever after Shalom. Bon Rebe Fachman Secheli, Bon Rebe Fachbablik Imoveres Fachmanzi. Der Klika Moveres Fochable Visus Pabli Visachim. Republic Imoveres Sushvat Smahim. I will spend the whole day deliberating and what do I do? And does this student's going to need any money? And the family doesn't know because of the reality of what they says is they should research if the mother and the sisters, which we will have everything but rape and murder business that they do. Living day about what they says I will be or do. With a forgeries and seek one coin for anything to say in the shape. Like to us and our people. Everyone. For the family do not know because of their researching. Smart big words, perros degenerados. For they to make business like with everybody else's. Supposedly summary government of the world, some patriotic secret. Or state secret. While and through makes the whole of the volume of the generaciones made an up telling just the top Argentina and the Argentinian socially. The social have shown and tell everything and told you. And then force us. So delusional degenerados making this organization of criminals, which the most of Argentina today, for them making this business of they would be and not me nor us. Voodoo Bamba Amafu is nothing like voodoo known, it's Egyptian Pimbarima. And it's exactly 666, and it's this Diablo de Mierda. Remboblek Maferre Sechlikim doesn't work and want. Bangreva Fachman Sechal Vikiva Reve Fochman Sechel Diablo de Sostidi. Remboblek Mangreve Fachman Siablo de Sovereignty. Spomblek Mangreve Fachman Sechabal, Abeswati. Galkua Reve Fachman Sechel Laves Matan, Reves Vasim. Galbika Reve Fochali Kichvataran, Faralika Reve Suspility, Smata Shochal Smatahima, Ambleki Makarasim. And like I said, in Borreve Fachlik Susim, and like have been doing also to Mr. President Barack Obama, which is respectable, honorable. And we're making the Klinko Barreve Fochbativ Matsinosim is instigation for less humanity. It's not a joke. Remboblegem Moreres Pachal Besmotleris Bahaletim. Done the same to Mr. President Putin. Done the same to states justice bodies in the United Nations. And with porn assembled, the whole class, and to United Nations coalition and liaison office in International Criminal Court as International Court of Justice, instigation for less humanity, the protection of Sodom-Gomorrah, KIRSCHNER, UNASUR, Argentina. And then Minera Ranchan explained the only one for the God that they will show, and there will come salvation over a flood of witches of hell, everyone is, with the pardon of victims. So they will show that they will do all I've done. And they will show to the worldwide that we're nobody but them, and I'm going to show you what they've shown. And I'm going to tell you the shit dies, and nobody cries the shit. Now, sorry for the words, it's true. Belklika maghreb fechbot blaki maghreb pachli visosefan. Amtleki maghreb fachal blesivi toshvatika maghreb fachim. Imploves partika shtalka achavati at chavat mats and teroshpotim. Amtleki maghreb fach and batlevis mamlasisha. Kalviko maghreb fach matzia blesosaish. Kalkimbo maghreb fach matzechaliki maghreb fachal blesichmatzim. I am not making no policy, no proselytism, no campaign around. I am not setting an image. I am telling you, wake up and make the chat as you understand, not to mix shit and understanding. Origins always calls for the senses and the reality you understand. You exist. Corruption is healable. Destruction is fixable. Death is something we don't deal with. Bon revef fachman sikama revef fachli visosin. Imbo pleki maghreb fachli visosalis basar. Am pleki maghreb fachpia respectiki maghreb fachli visosalim. And I want you to understand me. I said so oftenly, I am dealing permanently on the dead. Lidio con la muerte. Rembo pleki masichish vasinim. We don't make agreements or trades about death. Bon revef fachman siya pleka revef fach am pleki maghreb sasim. Rimbo pleki vachor respectiki resushvas. Am batzal a ekol a etzov ekol mi a imot rim. Bertiki maghreb fachli visos le baslash. Bankreki maghreb fach mat levisim. Reba plevesasif. Spombletan revespachlekish patach ma'asa pleviko revefok levesasvish vatzika. Chalach ma'ana afet zafot. Leshkivat chagecha plevesosima. Rapti bosman revespachlekish paterra fachalibusmoti revesasvasim plechadafam. At this day, this Tuesday, if I am not wrong, it shall be for about March the 2nd. I may be mistaken yesterday on the date, or March the 1st, 2016. Here in Buenos Aires already past noon, shall be for about 1400 maybe. Forgive me, I'm not going to check now. Ben Rabbi Forman Seal, Kiva Rabbi Fabitz, Fatte Kima Rabbi Fachman Seal, Spot Levisachim. Galkimo Rabbi Fachman Sechen, Livio Levisus Bagar, Facha Levisus Matleves. Isheka, Ikalika, Reves Bachal, Ismosin. And yes, maybe 13, 20, 13, 40, 25 around. Spoleki Rabbi Fachman Serra, Bleki Rabbi Fachman Levisus Martin, Balbeki Rabbi Shafin. What do I want is what I only care about. I don't invite no one, and the rights are not commercializable. And you, Kirchners, degenerados infernales, criminales ferales peligrosos, abominables psicópatas, masivos colectivos, degenerados de cuarta, queridos de derecho y de estrellas, de respeto y honorabilidad, valor y prestigio. Infernales ratas del maldito recto de Sodoma. No decidís del derecho mío ni de nadie, y te voy a aplastar, cucaracha del infierno, a vos y a tus evangélicos, y vas a ver cómo no. ¡Perros! Rempo pleki mavreves pachal, las perlikish votech mahal, imbo reves fachmitzi, hablevisachim. Y de cierto, la pensión de disability para hacer el trabajo de que necesitaría permanentemente vigilancia médica y una condición de tutoriales para ver la condición de demencia si necesitaría internaciones y medicaciones, para vos decir que sos yo y tomar toda mi vida y decir que vos hiciste y vos fuiste para coger y matar a mi gente y hacer el negocio de hijo de perra, diciendo que podés poseer todo lo que es mío de mi gente, te voy a matar, perra infernal. Rembopleki magrebes fajal baspektika magrebes asile, inshkopleki magrebes fajal baspikara ajabas besin. La familia pide, te voy a arrancar los cuernos. HTTPS www.edxocdmt middle. KIRSCHNERS, prestigio de verdad, interrogatory, middle. Una enfermedad degenerada delirante en base a brujerías, adivinos, brujas, brujos, evangelistas, inescrupulosos, criminales degenerados, como todos ellos y toda organización de criminales degenerados, abominados y psicópatas, para el fin de una denominada supuesta patria, falacia enferma y degenerada como su maldita existencia, al nombre de supuesta entidad de poder y honorabilidad. Middle. La realidad podrida, enferma y reventada de una maldita tierra, la cual abrazó la enfermedad y el infierno puso como estrella, destruyendo el valor, la verdad, el honor, lo correcto, el orden, y lo bueno como lo que significaría salud, verdad y genuinidad en la realidad. Middle. EDRMC F443 Middle versus Middle, realeza del Dios Altísimo del Estado de Israel. Eligya, Alejandro Mario Blanco Radamí. DMIC F44342 Middle, CMI CMT com BAT BOT 43 Middle Cis Middle IDRT 8 off 55.90 System 3 7 F2 F3 F5 F9 Word 0